Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about the chocolate industry. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers! Today we have one of the sweetest videos we've ever put together. It's about the chocolate industry, but from the business perspective. It might seem that everything is sweet and savory, but each chocolate bar is part of a bigger industry that's now associated with big events like Valentine's Day, Easter, or Christmas. Chocolate dates back to the early 1900s BC and was first found in Mexico. Central and Latin America are still, up to this day, one of the biggest cocoa bean producers in the world. Cocoa beans are actually bitter, and they get the flavor after fermentation, so from the beans to the chocolate bar is quite a long process. There are many types of chocolate, many producers, many factories, and so many things to know about this entire industry. Some sweeter than others, obviously. So, let's have a look at the biggest chocolate companies, the trends, and the finest choices your money can buy. We know you love chocolate, so let's dive in, shall we? If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Number 1. Britain's best chocolatier wants to raise $100,000 to open a chocolate boutique. Even a well-trained and famous patissier and chocolatier needs a little help to launch his own business. Britain's 4-time award-winning chocolatier William Curley wants to raise $100,000 on a crowdfunding website to open his chocolate boutique in Soho, London. It will be the ultimate luxury chocolate experience, as he describes it, and it's also a good exercise for those who want to adventure into the chocolate industry. It seems you need at least $100,000 to start with if you really want to make a great product worth buying. Number 2. A few countries produce over 70% of the world's chocolate. Cocoa beans can be found in many countries and climates, but most of the world's production comes from 4 countries alone: the Ivory Coast, Ghana, Indonesia, and Nigeria. These 4 countries make up almost 70% of the cocoa beans available on the market. Some of these countries had never had cocoa trees before the 1970s, like Indonesia, but others are very exploited, like Ivory Coast. That's the main producer for Nestlé and Cadbury. Reports show that chocolate demand is rising, especially for dark and organic types, so these countries are still in business in the future. Number 3. You can 3D print with chocolate. The chocolate industry has done it all. All the flavors in the world, all the colors, all the shapes, and all the types. Chocolate fountains, chocolate flavors, chocolate everything, and yet there are still some things that spark our attention. The latest trend is 3D printing with chocolate. It allows chocolate makers to explore their creativity and teach students a different approach to this craft. 3D printing in the food industry makes room for personalization and engraving. And let's be honest, we all want a special message to go with a box of chocolates, don't we? Number 4. There's a big chocolate group that controls 12% of the entire industry. If you're familiar with Big Pharma or Big Tobacco, then you know what Big Chocolate stands for. The term stands for a group of chocolate-producing companies that control a big percentage of the market. In this case, we're talking about Mondelez, Mars, Nestlé, and the Hershey's Company. We bet you've heard of half of them because their chocolate brands are well known worldwide. The Big Chocolate Group controls over 12% of the chocolate market. They're also billion-dollar corporations that might not have the best practices or ethics. Number 5. It's a $100 billion industry. The sweet chocolate we all know and love is a huge industry that brings in billions of dollars. It's been used for thousands of years as currency by the Aztecs, and now estimated to be worth roughly $100 billion. The most famous chocolate brands like Mars, Lindt, Hershey's, or Cadbury are the main key players in this industry that's growing, with almost $50 billion per year worldwide. Europe is the largest consumer, producer, and exporter of chocolate, especially since they have such a strong chocolate culture in countries like France, Switzerland, and Belgium. Number 6. Climate change is one of the biggest threats to chocolate. As you might have figured by now, climate change is affecting our lives and industries quite heavily. In the next few years, as things evolve, it might severely affect the chocolate industry to the point of extinctions. If the temperature keeps rising, cocoa won't be able to grow anymore. It will also affect the production and shipping of chocolate bars, therefore a significant rise in prices. Big companies like Mars are already taking measures to ensure their production, but in the end, customers are going to pay that extra investment in new technology. Number 7. Some cocoa farmers never tasted chocolate. By far the biggest and most talked about scandal in the chocolate industry was the farmer that never tasted chocolate. The scandal broke a few years ago, and it surrounds the Ivory Coast cocoa farmers, the biggest cocoa bean producer in the world. Many industries use third-party companies that employ children and offer harsh working conditions and low wages. But to work on a cocoa plantation and never have tasted a chocolate bar is another level. Unfortunately, this is the ugly side of an industry that's associated with happiness and love. Number 8. The Mast Brothers fooled everyone into buying $10 chocolate bars. Premium and artisanal chocolate bars are expensive. If you want fair trade, hand-picked, and dairy-free chocolate, then your pool of options shrinks significantly. One of those hipster brands that successfully sold $10 regular chocolate bars as artisanal is Mast. The two brothers marketed their product as premium and artisanal when it was, in fact, a regular overpriced chocolate bar packed beautifully and represented by two bearded brothers. Many experts commented about the brand as having a very similar taste to a drugstore French chocolate, and that they remelted the chocolate. The Mast Brothers are now known as the guys that fooled people into buying overpriced chocolate bars with a good marketing strategy and a crappy product. Number 9. Building on the last point, dark, organic, and artisanal is the new trend in chocolate. People want to eat more chocolate, although the media keeps telling us it's full of sugar. Eating just a single chocolate square releases endorphins and makes us happy, so how can you stop eating it altogether? Trends show that consumers are aware of the nutritional value of chocolate, and they're choosing more carefully what they buy. They want premium quality organic cocoa beans with a high percentage of cocoa and a dark, unsweetened taste. If the chocolate is handmade or artisanal, it's even better, even though the price is normally higher in this case. If you want a sweet experience, look for a chocolate place or boutique. Number 10. The most expensive chocolate is the frozen oat chocolate from Serendipity 3, worth $25,000. Chocolate and dessert lovers will know the ultimate and most expensive chocolate dessert is the frozen oat chocolate from Serendipity 3. For $25,000, you get a chocolate slushie made from 28 exotic and rare cocoa beans, edible gold leaves, and a truffle on top. And because not even rare cocoa beans and gold leaf and truffles are that expensive, the dessert also comes with a gold spoon and a diamond bracelet plate. Of course, after paying that amount, you get to take the spoon and the diamond bracelet home. There's also a $1 million chocolate box, but you pay for the box rather than the chocolates. You want to see some more luxury desserts, Aluxers? We have the ultimate video for you where we rank 10 of the most expensive desserts in the world. Gold, diamond, and rare ingredients are on the list. Just click in the top right corner to check it out. Number 11. Chocolate artisanal beer is the newest craft beer on the block. Craft beer is the newest trend beer lovers get to enjoy. It comes in a variety of flavors and types, and some mix them with ingredients such as coffee, fruits, even chocolate. But don't be confused, it doesn't mean the beer is made with 50% coffee or chocolate. It means it's made with some extracts or powders to enhance flavor and color. Chocolate beer is made with fat-free cocoa powder and dark roasted barley to give it a subtle chocolatey aftertaste that not everyone can identify. There are also breweries that use chocolate malt, a dark chocolate look-alike malt that lends a nutty flavor to the beer and a deep red color. Number 12. Some of the biggest chocolate names were founded to take alcohol's place. Chocolate is the one food that is sacred to most people. Looking through its history, we see that it's always been a treasured food, and some have made fortunes selling it. What people don't know is some of the biggest chocolate brands have risen because alcohol needed a substitute. Cadbury's, Fry's, Terry's, or Rowntree's were founded with money from Quaker families who were keen for chocolate to take the place of alcohol as the new vice. High consumption of chocolate is less dangerous than alcohol, and it doesn't cloud the mind either. Just a minor sugar rush and some extra pounds, or so they thought. Number 13. Mars is the biggest chocolate producer in the world. The Mars family have been producing chocolate products for decades. They are one of the richest families in America and in the world, but they are also the biggest chocolate producer. They make $2 billion per year just by selling the famous Snickers bar. Being the largest privately owned company in America, Mars Inc. makes approximately $35 billion in revenue each year. With such great sales, the chocolate bars and chocolate products allows the Mars family to be among the richest and longest-lasting dynasties with a net worth of $60 billion. Number 14. Cocoa juice is made from the cocoa bean. From cocoa beans, you can make chocolate and cocoa butter. These main products have been used for thousands of years, but it seems there's more to get from the cocoa bean. A couple recently discovered you can make cocoa juice from the white, fleshy center of the pod that most companies throw away. Cocoa farmers have been eating the white part because it has a subtle sweet taste, and now they turned it into a product. This cocoa juice can be used in smoothies or juices, or simply enjoyed as a refreshing drink by itself. Coconut water now has a new competitor. Number 15. There is a chocolate house in France you can spend the night in. Hansel and Gretel got lured into a gingerbread house. It might sound tasty to some, but there are better options for a gourmet tourist. France offers the ultimate accommodation for chocolate lovers, a chocolate house you can spend the night in. The house is 18 square meters, and it took 15 tons of chocolate to make it. The house was designed by French chocolatier Jean-Luc. For $60 per night, you get to stay and have some chocolate treats. There's even a white chocolate pond and a chocolate flower bed, so get ready for your sugar rush. Well, Aluxers, that's a wrap on our 15 things you didn't know about the chocolate industry. We're curious though, what's your favorite? White chocolate? Milk chocolate? Dark chocolate? Let us know in the comments. And of course, for sticking with us all the way to the end, here's your bonus. Number 16. Cocoa or cacao? What's the difference? We often hear the two words cocoa and cacao when talking about chocolate. Are they the same thing? Are they different words? Let's see. Some claim that Victorians couldn't pronounce cacao and renamed it cocoa, but in fact, they're just two different products coming from the same plant. Cacao nibs are the raw form of chocolate. They look more like coffee beans and have a bitter taste. Cocoa is cacao nibs processed, heated, and then most times turned into powder. So they're not the same thing, and they also have different properties and nutritional values. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.